So, I just watched Revenge of the Mask 2, and I've been a huge fan of this, little franchise since it began last year. I did a review of the original trailer for Revenge of the Mask, I did a review for the movie, and then I interviewed the creators, Dylan and Lance, the producer and director of the film, directly after the film came out last year. And I've been anticipating Revenge of the Mask 2 for a long time. Now, if you don't know what this is, Revenge of the Mask is a fan film, a very well-made fan film that seems like big budget if you watch it. It doesn't seem like your typical fan film you would find on YouTube. They put a lot of money and a lot of time into making these films. And what it does is takes a more Dark Horse comic book version look at the Mask, with a little bit of stuff from like the Jim Carrey Mask sprinkled in. Really entertaining. Something I've always wanted to see. Really enjoyed the first movie, and going into this movie I wasn't sure what to expect. I didn't know what they were going to do with it, because there was kind of a cliffhanger at the end of the last one, kind of something that said like, hey, this could happen next or whatever, but I didn't know what to expect. So I mostly loved it. I thought it was great. I have a few criticisms. I'll start with the stuff I liked, okay? It's gritty. It's dark. I love it. It's comedic. They put a little more of the Jim Carrey mask in this one, which I thought was great. There's a scene right towards the beginning where it's like a cut scene where it looks away from him and then looks back at him, and he's in a completely different position, like a cartoon character, like the Jim Carrey version of The Mask from 1994. I thought that was fantastic. And I really enjoyed the movie overall. Now, the only criticisms I have are it was kind of all over the place. So I enjoyed everything that I saw, but I felt like I wanted more. And let me kind of explain that. So, a good portion of the movie is backtracking and showing you some stuff that happened that we didn't see, like off-camera stuff that happened in the first movie, which was really cool. And then it's revealed in this movie that someone else ends up finding the mask. But a good, 75% of this film is rehashing the stuff that happened in the last film, or stuff that we didn't see. Like, gives you some more background info, right? So it's really cool how they brought it together, like, made the person who ends up with the mask in this film connect with where the mask was in the last film and what happened with that, and how all these same gangsters are still involved, but there's some new characters that they introduce in that gangster world, so it's really cool. But like I said, it's kind of all over the place, because you go backwards in time at first, and you're like back in what would have been the first movie, scenes that we didn't see. And then you get to, I guess, what it would be like present day, and then so a good portion of this one is like rehashing the last one. It's the same guy with the mask on. But then a new person finds the mask because of where the last person left his mask. It's pretty cool. I don't want to give too much away. Like, I don't want to tell you the whole story, but I just letting you know my criticisms of it and the stuff I liked about it. That's really my only criticism, is that it didn't have enough story with the new character. It was very short. That once the new character got the mask, it was like, I don't know, 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes probably left of the film. But what I really did like about it is that they definitely used storyline from the original comic, because a police officer ends up with this mask in this film. And that is, the original comic is a police officer using this mask to, dole out justice in his off hours. Stuff he couldn't do as a cop, he's doing as the Mask. And I really enjoyed that they brought some actual comic book storyline to this one. So the last one was like really original storyline, which was cool. This one, and it's not exactly the same. They just basically they made it a police officer, but in a different way. So it's not going to be an exact retelling of the comic book, if you've read the comic book. But I love the new character as the man. I love how the mannerisms are a little different. He talks a little more softly. It just sounds a little different. I like it a lot. Dean Cain was in this thing. And like that, when I watched the trailer originally, I was like, holy shit, they got Dean Cain to be in this, in a fan film? That's fucking cool, man. And how cool of that is that of Dean Cain to want to be involved in something like that? That's really cool. Like, that's big ups, big props to Dean Cain for being interested in, you know, just the art, you know? He wanted to act in this, and I thought that was awesome. And he did a fantastic job as the, I guess, police chief or lead detective. I'm not exactly sure, but fantastic job. I mean, he basically played kind of an asshole, and he did it well. So that's it. I really enjoyed this. Like I said, the only criticisms I have are that we didn't get enough of the new character, but I think it felt like this one is setting up a third one. It felt like, in fact, it felt like most of this movie, like, it felt like this movie was basically just a setup for a third. So that would be my only criticism, is that it didn't feel like a whole lot other than a setup for more movies. However, what we did see was really cool. So I can't wait to see Revenge of the Mask 3. I'm sure it's coming. And you know I'll be doing a review of the trailer for that, and you know I'll be doing a review. And hey, I might get in touch with the creators again, do an interview with them. I won't make them sit through and whatever it was, like a 2-hour interview that I did with them last time. I really dragged it out. I had a lot of questions, and I just wanted to chat with them. So I sat with them for like two hours. I'm sure they're like, ah, God, it's like 2 in the morning, let us go. But, yeah. Anyway, enjoyed the film. I'd love to hear what you thought of it. If you don't know where to find this, it's just look up on YouTube, look up Revenge of the Mask film. It's its own channel, and all of the Revenge of the Mask stuff is on there, even some behind-the-scenes stuff, and a Rise of the Mask, like, kind of prequel featurette. Really cool. So, these guys are awesome. Dylan and Lance did a fantastic job with this. All the actors involved did a fantastic job. I enjoyed it. Absolutely enjoyed it. If you like videos like this where I talk about movies, TV series, comic books, nerd shit, pop culture, stuff like that, subscribe for more, because that's what I do here. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.